So I just finished watching all 6 episodes of the Tales of the Empire, and let's talk about them. Now, I do want to address that I was originally going to do 2 separate videos to end it off, a Bears Offie episode review altogether, and then a complete series review. But I realized to talk about the Bears Offie episodes, I'm going to have to talk about the complete series as a whole, so that's what we are going to do. So, like I said, we have the 3 Morgan Elsbeth episodes and the 3 Bears episodes, and they provide a contrast with each other. Just like we saw in Tales of the Jedi with the Dooku episodes and the Ahsoka episodes. Now, something interesting to know. Of the 4 characters we follow in these Tales of stories, 3 of them are former Jedi in some form or another. All became disillusioned with the Jedi, but each took a different path. Dooku betrayed the Jedi fully and gave fully into the dark side, but came from a place of good intentions. Ahsoka also had a falling out with the Jedi, but she never lost faith in what the Jedi stood for. Dooku and Barriss did, but Ahsoka never did. But here was Barriss. She lost faith in the Jedi Order as an institution, but unlike Dooku, Ahsoka never lost faith in the Jedi's ideals and beliefs. Institutionally, probably, but never what the Jedi stood for. Kind of same thing with Barriss. The reason why she betrayed the Jedi was because she believed that the institution had given up, had abandoned their own values. And when the Empire comes knocking, they use that to try to manipulate her. And Barriss, just like Ahsoka, eventually, because Barriss needs a little more pushing than Ahsoka did to avoid the dark side, but Barriss does realize that the dark side is now for her. It takes her a little bit. But even doing within manipulation and indoctrination, the only thing she really seems to fully believe in is the party line of the Empire, i.e. peace, order, stability, and all that. Not the torture, not the brutality. She's not into any of that, even as an Inquisitor. And it's like on her first mission when she's like, yep, nope, not for me, and ducks out. That's quite impressive. Compare that to Dooku, who went in all and then became a Sith Lord. And then Ahsoka, she tried to, live a peaceful life, realize that, nope, she has to stand up, and she does. Very different stories. But I'm talking a lot about Tales of the Jedi, but we really gotta talk about the Morgan Elsbeth episodes, because those are the ones that are in direct contrast to Barriss. Like I said, Barriss was tempted by the dark side, briefly trodden down that path, but she ultimately decided not to go down the path of the dark side. But what does Morgan Elsbeth do? In the face of fear, her anger, her hate, she keeps on going down the path. That's why her episodes are titled The Path of Fear, The Path of Hate, The Path of Anger. Because Morgan Elsbeth, at every opportunity which she's given to not go down the path, she does go down the path. But look at the titles for the Bears Offie episodes. Devotion. Devotion to the Force. There's multiple scenes in that episode where Barriss is meditating, including in Fortress Inquisitorius. Then we have the next episode, Realization. She comes to realization about what the Inquisitorius really is about, because she had kind of deluded herself into what they were stood for. So how she was able to realize that with all the torture and that, and being forced to kill another Jedi who decided to be in on the dark side and all that, how did she not pick that up? Little dent of Barriss, so, but she's trying to survive, so I'll give her a pass there. And then the last episode, The Way Out. Barriss had already found the way out, but she extends the way out to another Inquisitor, her friend Lynn. And at the end of the episode, Lynn does accept Barriss' help for the way out. Requires Barriss getting fatally injured, and maybe there's a chance of survival. I mean, Force Hero is a thing, and we don't know where Barriss' species' heart is, so there's a chance. There's a chance, though. The fact that she stopped breathing and it was cold is a sign, but then again, it was starting to look more like spring outside the ice cave, so perhaps that's just because it wasn't cold anymore, because Lynn had given up on the dark side, had taken the way out. And so, Lynn, in almost some ways, might have been a better contrast to Morgan Elsbeth than Barriss. Because Lynn was there every single episode, and she also provided a contrast, if for Barriss. But in some ways, the Lynn character does contrast with Morgan Elsbeth better, because, like Morgan Elsbeth, she makes those wrong decisions. But in basically her path of fear moment in the ice caves, her path of anger moment in the ice caves, she decides to stop, turn around, and accept Barris' help. It doesn't require stabbing Barris, like I said, but in some ways, maybe we should have followed Lynn instead of Barris. I think her story might have been a little more interesting. I still want to know more about Barris' story as a whole, but that contrast in the Barris episodes kind of makes a better contrast to the Morgan Elspeth episode, seeing two characters presenting with many similar situations but making different decisions. Because the contrast with Morgan and Barris is not as strong as the contrast between Ahsoka and Dooku. But Morgan and Lynn, I think there's something more there that could be explored, the difference between the characters and how they reacted to the offers of the dark side. But there's so much more we can discuss in these episodes, and that's the point. These episodes are about really getting new views on Star Wars. And there's one more thing I want you to discuss. Characters going down the dark path in general, but turning away has been a common trope in Star Wars. Redemption is a big theme of Star Wars. If you remember when I talked about Episode 6, The Way Out, I feel like it should be called The Path Out, to compare to the Morgan Elspeth episode in terms of title structure. But the thing is that redemption is a big thing in Star Wars, and look at how many characters have turned away from the dark side. We've had Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. We've had Vader / Anakin. We've had Barris now, Lynn, Reva, Trilla, May. Yeah, I'm recording this after the Acolyte, so I can talk about the Acolyte in this video. And that's actually something I kind of want to bring up. May, like Barris, fell down the dark path out of a misguided sense of seeking justice, seeking order, stability, a misguided sense. May went down the dark path because she thought she wanted revenge on what happened on Brendock, but she actually wanted justice. Barris started down the dark path because she saw the hubris of the Jedi, the faults of the Jedi, and was given an option to maybe do better, but she realized quickly that the Empire was lying. And May also had the realization, especially when she found out her sister Osha was alive, that she also had the option that, no, I don't want revenge, that there's no another path forward for her. And both May and Barris saw that path forward, that alternative path from the dark side, and they took it the first chance they got. Now, May's story definitely has a lot more exploring to do, so hopefully we get either a season 2 someday, even though despite the cancellation, even though Disney hasn't said anything yet, or we at least get a novel, something to continue that story there. But Osha might be more similar to Lynn in some ways, but maybe not. Again, that contrast, those characters who are going down the dark path, but there's so many times, there's a moment I realized, no, this is not the path for them. I already mentioned May, but Kylo Ren, he was never really committed to the dark side. In fact, he's probably more like Barris when you think about it. You know, kind of going down the dark side out of a misguided sense of purpose, and when he realizes a better way, he takes it. Takes him a lot more. Takes a forced manifestation of the memory of his father to get him to do it. Likely contributed by Leia reaching out his mother in the Force. Complicated. Very complicated, but he had a lot of issues. Vader, he decided his family meant more than the dark side to him, and he betrayed the Empire. Reva was about to kill Luke in the misguided sense of getting revenge on Anakin Vader, even though Vader didn't know Luke was alive at all, saw in Luke, in that moment, the young, terrified girl she was in the temple during Order 66, and realized she couldn't bring herself to do that, to basically make another her. You have Trilla, who realizes that she, you know, in the last moments of life before Vader showed up, that she couldn't continue down the dark path anymore. Kind of wish we got more into Trilla's head in that scene. It's been also a while since I played that scene, so I might be misremembering some stuff, but she realizes that she doesn't want to go down the path of the dark side anymore. And that's really it, I think, of all the characters I mentioned. I mean, we could mention more, but he never really had that moment of realization that he needed to go down a different path. But talking about Maul's character is a whole video I do want to do someday. But you know what? That's what's good about these Tales of series. We get to explore these characters in new lights, new situations that we have not seen them in before. And I think it did a good job. The contrast between Morgan Elsbeth constantly doubling down on the dark side and Barris skirting the outskirts and deciding to fully turn away from the dark side and then helping a friend turn away from the dark side is powerful, is good. Barris made in the end the choice that Morgan Elsbeth couldn't. Morgan Elsbeth doubled down, immersed herself in the dark side. Barris turned away from it and later on helped another person turn away from the dark side. And what's more light side than helping somebody else turn away from the dark side? That is where I'm going to leave you, but I would love to hear your thoughts on all of Tales of the Empire, what I talked about today. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.